In this video, we'll talk about there's no such things as failure. In life, you are bound to go through some ups and downs. A strong person is one who manages to pull through anything and everything. To be strong and win at life, it's important to remember that there's no such thing as failure. Don't be afraid of rejection. The idea of failure is different for everyone. For some people, the idea is quite daunting, while for others, it's just downright depressing and discouraging. Failure comes in different forms and through different means. Sometimes it's disguised as your inability to excel at something. At others, it comes as rejection. Rejections can be a huge blow if you're not prepared for it. You must always be prepared for rejection because it will come your way at some point in time. Don't be afraid of it, and don't refuse to accept that it has come your way. Instead, accept it and polish yourself to be better. If you've been rejected from a college or a co-curricular program, ask yourself why it went wrong. Instead of being afraid of the idea, embrace it and use it to make yourself better. Everyone develops a fear of failure as they grow older. It's easy to see because young people have less fear of failure than older ones. As an infant, you learned how to walk through failure. You tried to get up, but you fell down. But did you stop trying altogether? No. You went through the whole process of trial and error to learn how to walk perfectly. The same principle applies to your adult life. Sometimes rejection hurts your self-esteem, but if you think of it as feedback rather than a failure, wouldn't things be much better? Treat your rejection as feedback and find ways to enhance yourself. Most importantly, don't let the fear of rejection stop you from trying at all. At least give something 1 or 2 attempts, if not more. With the right amount of dedication, you will be able to achieve whatever you want. Failures are stepping stones for success. It's quite a paradox that you have to fail in order to succeed, yet it makes a lot of sense. If you fail at something, that doesn't make you a failure. It just makes you a person who's learned something from their attempt. A world-renowned example of this is Thomas Edison performing about 10,000 experiments to come up with the perfect model for a light bulb. What kept him going after his first or 100th try failed? The determination to succeed. He didn't treat the futile experiments as failures. Instead, he treated them as 10,000 new things that he learned. There are many examples from history which show that failure is essential in the journey to success. You can't really expect to learn something if your path is obstacle-free, can you? But when you fail, you see your mistakes, and that gives you a chance to refine yourself. This is why all successful people are so refined in their ways and choices. They've learned from failures in life. Michael Jordan, the famous basketball star, admits that he's only successful because he failed over and over again. You might think that failure would only break your hopes and dim the lights along the road, yet this isn't entirely true. It just depends on how you decide to see something. As a first-time parent, you might think that you're failing every time something goes wrong. Think of it this way. Every time you do something wrong, there's something you learn not to do in the future. With time, you get better and parenting becomes much easier with your second child. As long as you learn from the experience, it's a success. Failure is an amazing experience in its own way. When you fail, you learn new things about yourself. You learn a new way to cope with something, and you discover your capabilities that never surfaced before. Just like that, you also learn new things about the task at hand. It's perhaps not possible to learn as much from success because it comes with perfection. But there's so much that you can learn from failure as it gives you a chance to grow as a person. You only fail if you give up. As long as you keep trying, you're not failing. If your own failures seem overwhelming, then learn from the experience of successful people. They have a habit of never giving up. Instead of gloating over their failures, they use them to their advantage and pave their way to success. They've all taught us that it's okay to fall and that there's no shame in that. Make this fall your strength and get up with more determination and force that is unbeatable. Always remember, your failure isn't a stop sign. It might be a sign for you to change your direction or be more focused on the one you're already heading to, but in no way is it a stop sign. If you stop, that's when you fail. As long as you keep going on and becoming better, you're succeeding. Never let others force you into believing that you're a failure. It's your journey, and you know how far you have come. You just need to learn from every experience, and it'll soon lead you to success. Everyone faces setbacks in life, but it's people who experiment and persist that become successful later in life. You might have failed multiple times to keep your blog or website running. If you learn from each failure and rectify every mistake you made, you'll have your passion fulfilled in no time. It's only you who determines that you have failed, not your circumstances, neither the people around you. Not everyone gets to play easy in life. Hurdles are bound to come your way, but remember what Tony Robbins says. There's no such thing as failure. There are only results. In this video, we'll discuss about making real decisions. Everyone has to make decisions in their daily life. While some of them are small, others are big and have a profound impact on your life. So it's very important to evaluate all aspects of an issue before coming to a decision. There are a few things that, if considered, can help you make good decisions that you won't regret later in life. Make smart decisions. Most people don't realize the importance little decisions have in life. When you make a decision, it initiates events in your life that unfold into either something good or bad, depending on whether your decision was smart or not. You must make smart decisions. It often happens that we make decisions based on what others think or how a certain thing is supposed to be. The people around you have a huge impact on your decision-making skills. Surround yourself with positive presence. There is no right way to make a smart decision. The process of making a smart decision varies from person to person. For some people, their gut plays a role in making the best decision. The first thought that they have is the best for them. If they overthink the issue, they end up blowing the problem out of proportion and making decisions that are unnecessary. But for others, thinking is an important part of decision-making. They need to think about a problem and make sure they've got everything covered before they decide something. Whichever of the two you are, make sure you cover every aspect of the decision. If you make smart decisions, your life will be much better and easier. Most people suffer the consequences of decisions made poorly or in haste. Take your time and get to know the issues in depth. Once you are content with your decision, proceed to its application. Just don't rush into making a decision. If you decide to move into a new house, make sure you ask yourself whether it helps you. Will you be paying more rent? Is this house close to your workplace? Is it too big or small for you? When you make a smart decision, you have no regrets later. Think everything through when you decide to move into this place. Otherwise, you'll face with problems like transportation issues, extra expenditure on rent, and waste or lack of space. Carry out your decisions. People are always making decisions about the changes they want to bring in life, but often end up ignoring them. You must carry out your decision. If you have strong willpower and you're dedicated about something, you'll surely be able to carry it out. For example, if you decide to join a book club in your local library, push yourself to do it as soon as possible. When you delay something, the chances of it never happening increase. Go to the library the first chance you get and fill out the membership form. A very common example in this regard is of smokers. There are so many people out there who want to quit smoking. They've searched everything and they've planned everything out, but they fail to carry out their decision. If you keep postponing it, you'll never be able to achieve it. Why start tomorrow when you can do it today? You can quit smoking if you put your heart and mind into it. Just go cold turkey. There are so many others who have done it. Read the stories of people online or join a help group so that you have motivation you need. Interacting with people who have succeeded in carrying out their decisions will help you immensely. Don't give up if you fail the first time. Learn from the mistakes you make in the first attempt. Ask yourself, how can you succeed the next time? Remember that you can do it. Nothing or no one can stop you if you put your mind to something. Keep reminding yourself that this is a smart decision that you made and now you need to act on it. It's the first step that counts the most. Every day, you might tell yourself that you'll start tomorrow. Once you decide that you're going to do it today is when you succeed. Just take that first step and the road will lead on. Don't look back. It's not always easy to carry out your decisions. Sometimes you even start, but there are hurdles in the way. If you want to quit smoking, you might be peer pressured to derail from this decision, or people around you could tell you that one smoke a day doesn't do any harm. You need to remember why you started in the first place. Before you made this decision, you must have thought a lot about the health and social changes it'll bring in your life. Every time you feel like you are derailing from your path, remember why you started the journey in the first place. You might even have to cut off things and people in order to carry out your decisions. Cut out people from your life who pressure you into smoking. It might be hard at first, but you need to remember that these people are toxic for you. If someone's bringing negativity in your life, why keep them close? Why did you decide to volunteer at a shelter? Because it made you content and you wanted to spend your time doing something good. Don't let laziness or a lack of a proper schedule derail you from this decision. Don't let your laziness stop you from doing things that are good for you. Sometimes you make mistakes when you carry out a decision. Don't let that stop you from continuing. Make amends and carry on. So start making smart decisions and carry them out without stopping for anyone or anything. In this video, we'll discuss about consistency is key. Consistency is the magic ingredient for success, be it personal betterment, business, academics, or just the relationships with loved ones. Without consistency and the will to stay steadfast in what you're trying to achieve, there is no success. A child never learns to tie his shoelaces the very first try. He tries over and over again till he finally figures it out on the 100th time. The important thing is not to do it once, but to do it over and over again, to never stop till you reach your goal. Be committed and persevere. Perseverance is to keep up your efforts in doing something no matter the difficulties and obstacles in the way. It is perseverance that helps you learn how to walk, then helps you study for an exam, or makes you get up every single day and get on with your life. Just like solving a jigsaw puzzle, if the piece doesn't fit, try another one, and then another one until it's completed. Similarly, all goals are left unachieved, all success unknown till one learns to stay committed and persevere. Push yourself to be patient and stay committed. Tell yourself why it's important that you stay steadfast. Remind yourself of why you must go on. Anyone can try once and give up, but only those who stay committed and persevere succeed in life. In being persistent towards achieving any goal in life, you learn from your failures. You learn what went wrong the first time. You learn how to defeat these obstacles rather than be defeated by them. Everything in life demands this commitment, from a successful career to a healthy relationship. Without it, a medical student would give up the first time they failed to memorize the horrid details of a gruesome disease. Without it, a mother would wake up every single night to nurse her child the moment he or she lets out a cry. And to be honest, without it, wedding vows wouldn't mean much either. Have a routine for success. Having a routine is vital for success in general. Without proper division and allotment of time you give to a particular task every day, there's no way of achieving consistency. It should be such that your mind automatically rings a bell to remind you what you must be doing at that particular hour. For instance, think of your daily skin regimen before bed. To have a routine would mean having dinner on time, cleaning up the kitchen next, and then heading to the bedroom to follow up with your skincare routine. Without a routine, a change in the timing of one thing would lead to a change in the other. With a late dinner, you might end up too exhausted and miss out on your daily routine. We all know how that goes then. It's missing out one day, then the next, and so on. So everything does need a proper allocation of time. What time do you wake up? How long do you work out for? What time do you eat? How much time can you afford to give to your hobbies? Are you giving enough time to friends and family? All of this needs to be set in order to achieve success. Being consistent with a routine maximizes the benefits of all the hard work. In the long term, having a messed up routine will not only stand in your way of success, but also mess up other aspects of life as well. Create good habits. Being consistent leads to the development of good habits. Creating good habits ensures success in all areas of life. Doing something once in a while or when you get the time doesn't get you anywhere near achieving your aims and aspirations. Instead, the keys to achieving any goals you set for are consistency and making quick decisions. This decision to do something every day is, in other words, your habits. The first thing to keep in mind for creating good habits is to choose discipline and your priority over your moods. I'm not in the mood to study today. Might as well binge watch a series. I'm a bit upset to work out today. Skipping one day shouldn't hurt. We've all been there. We've all chosen the mood over consistency, which has eventually led to a failure in developing good habits. To help keep the good habits you create, it's a good idea to track your progress. This helps you know how beneficial the habit has been for you. The clearer you see the results, the stronger you will be to continue them. For example, if you have a goal set on your weight and how much you want to lose, keeping a record every week should help you see a clearer pattern of the good that is coming from your habit of exercise. When you see the actual figure on scale, you'll get more enthusiastic and positive about your workout and how it turns out for you. No results can be seen overnight. Nothing is achieved in one go. Achievements take long, persistent struggle. Success isn't out of reach, it's only difficult to reach. Through persistence, perseverance, and commitment, success can be guaranteed. Consistency leads to the development of good habits. Good habits leads to actions, and that gets all the work done. Once you get used to the struggle and of staying steadfast, no matter the difficulties, no failures can set you back. They only make you stronger and more ambitious than ever to reach your goals. In this video, we'll talk about nothing is impossible. Everyone says that nothing is impossible, but do they actually believe it? If you really want everything to be possible, you have to start believing it. You'd be surprised by the power that belief has in life. You can make everything possible if you condition your mind to think so. Condition your mind to think positive. Optimism is an essential part of success in life. Once you condition your mind to think well and good, it'll have a positive impact on all your decisions and thoughts. You might look at someone making art and think to yourself that it's possible for you to do that. Why do you have to think so? A better way to go about it is to tell yourself that you can do just as well as that other person. Having a positive outlook on life is the first step to achieving success. You will never become a brilliant photographer if you keep telling yourself that it is impossible for you to capture something beautiful. What do you need to do instead? You need to be positive and think positive. Keep telling yourself that you can do it. Pessimism will bring you down every time. It's okay to have doubts, but don't let your doubts get in the way of achieving success. Train your brain to have positive thoughts so that you can find a way out of these doubts. People like Michael Jordan and J.K. Rowling failed in their first attempts too. Did they give up? No. Instead, they kept their minds positive and kept striving. Now, one of them is the most celebrated player in basketball, while the other is creator of a world that every reader around the world loves. If they just told themselves that it's impossible for them to achieve something just because they failed the first time, would they have succeeded? Never. Attitude is the key to success. Your attitude matters a lot. If you're not serious about something, you can't expect to excel at it, can you? So you've made your mind about learning to play the piano. To actually learn, you have to stay determined. There's no going back once you've made up your mind. Keep reminding yourself that you are only stopping once you've made it possible. Don't be lazy about something. If you've joined a piano class for learning, go to it regularly. Don't miss a class just because you don't feel like going or you're too lazy to go. Tell yourself that missing even one day will put you behind. Here, it's very important to not listen to others. People like to share their experiences, especially if they've had a hard time of it. Someone might tell you that you'll never learn because they themselves didn't manage to. If someone failed at something, that doesn't mean you will too. Maybe they did not have the dedication or positive outlook. You, on the other hand, have the positivity and the determination, and you will succeed. Most importantly, have faith in yourself. When you wake up every day, tell yourself that it's possible for you to do it. Remind yourself of all the challenges that you've already overcome and prepare for the ones you're going to face. Think of a school or college. Everyone goes to the same place and have the same teachers, books, and environment. So why is it that some of them manage to excel at studies while others don't? They must be doing something extra that others aren't. It's their attitude that takes them forward. They work extremely hard and they don't let anything stop them from getting what they want. This is what you need, so don't let anything distract you or derail you. Learn to take a blow. Life isn't all cotton candy and unicorns. If you start a journey, you're bound to face bumps along the road. You must be prepared for everything. Keep your disaster management plan ready so that you aren't totally thrown off by any problem you face. Sometimes one thing can ruin an entire day or week. Learn to look at the brighter picture, think of all the positive things that happened in that day. A good way to do it is to keep a gratitude journal. Write in it about everything that you are grateful for. So every time you're hit with a failure or a hurdle, read the journal to feel better. Problems are there to teach you something. Every problem that you face along the way will help you polish your skills and nourish your personality. Don't lose hope just because one thing didn't go right. Learn from the mistakes you made and teach yourself how to do better next time. If you put your heart to a task, it can never be impossible. Always remember that there is no dead end. Sometimes when you are trying to do something, it might not be possible to do it with the first method. There are other ways to do that thing. If you have decided to read more often, don't be discouraged because books are too expensive. You can always go to a library or borrow books. Also, you can read books online or get PDFs easily. So don't treat your money issue as a dead end. Change your direction and reach your goal. A very popular quote teaches us that nothing is impossible because the word itself says that I'm possible. Keep this in mind every time you face a tragedy. It can be hard to stay positive if your environment's filled with negativity. Use positive words when you define your life or purpose. Spend time with people who will always push you forward and encourage you rather than telling you to give up after the first blow. When you've learned how to channel your inner energy and keep your mind positive, you realize that nothing is impossible indeed. As you may know, it's only impossible until it is done. So do it and make it possible. In this video, we'll talk about live in the moment. Living in the moment means to be fully aware and mindful of the present moment. It may involve some effort on your part as it means not dwelling unnecessarily on the past or being overly anxious about the future. To live in the moment is to seize the moment you are in, living it to the fullest, experiencing it without letting the past or the future distract you. In fact, living in the moment means acknowledging that someday will never come. If anything, it's already here. It's right now. So don't put off your goals just because it's not the right time or you don't have the funds. You can still work for your goals despite these setbacks. The time may never be right unless you're prepared for it. So prepare right now. This presents the entire idea of living in the now and not just living it, but realizing the importance of it. Giving it the emotions and thought that it rightfully demands, focusing on what you have now, focusing on the task at hand, and focusing on all that you can thank today for. Be present and mindful. Being present in the now and being mindful of the very moment you're living in allows you to make it even more valuable and meaningful. Instead of pondering over the past or worrying over the future, make the most out of the present. If your goal is to spend more quality time with your family, then do so. Say you're in a family gathering, but instead of giving family the attention they deserve in the moment, your eyes are glued to the phone screen, your ear not paying attention to what the person sitting next to you is saying. You nod your head every once in a while without paying attention to what's been said at all. Even if the phone is put aside, the mind still remains occupied with it. The precious few hours you finally spare for the family time all go to waste, and you have no clue when you'll be able to spare some time for them again. Instead, seize the moment, live it, and be mindful of it. Make the most out of opportunity at hand, not letting distractions take away what you have now. Feel the moment and embrace it. Unless you learn to be present and mindful of the moment, you won't be able to give it all your best. A first date, a late night call with your best friend, a walk with your dad. We do it all, but we don't give it our all. We're incomplete when all these moments slip through our fingers. Just because we were too busy being in so many places, states, and moments in time to be actually present. We were too distracted to be present in the moment as a whole. Meditate. If you find yourself caving into distractions easily, consider meditation. Meditation can be very helpful in learning how to live in the moment. It's a practice that helps find inner peace and acceptance, both of which are essential for being mindful of the present moment. It's also a great way to relax so that you're able to let go of all the stress, anxiety, and thoughts of the past or future that haunt you. Unless you're truly relaxed, there is no living in the moment because the present gets overshadowed by the past or the future. Meditation techniques are preferably practiced in a serene, calm, natural environment. Think of times or places like early morning near a lake or in a field where there are no beeping phones, no honking cars, just the consistent melodic sound of water and the birds chirping. Meditation would require you to focus on these, slowly tugging away at all the thoughts that had occupied your mind. It teaches you to live that very moment to the fullest, to be able to sense and appreciate it fully. Even breathing during meditation has a significant effect. Deep and relaxing breaths help you feel like you are taking in positive energy and getting rid of negativity burdening your mind. With a couple of deep breaths, you can feel the relaxation and peace take you over, so you're able to enjoy these moments of peaceful solitude. Making a daily habit of meditation will help you stay calm and focused on the present moments throughout the day. Practice gratitude. Gratitude and living in the moment go hand in hand. Without living in the moment, you can't be grateful for the little things that make life worth living. A witty answer, a hilarious joke, that first bite of a delicious steak, the patter of rain against your window, the giggle of your child when he sees you. If you're not mentally present and mindful of these little things that make every moment of life precious, you can never be grateful. How can you know the worth and value of these things if you're too lost in the past or worries of the future to live such moments? When you live in the now, you experience each moment completely and you learn to appreciate it. Be happy with what you have now, with the contentment that where you are, who you are with, what you are doing is everything. The realization that what is in your hands right now is the best, without thinking, hey, it would be better if, or this is good, but learn to be grateful of what you have without any ifs or buts. Don't waste away what you have by thinking of something you once had and lost, or by wishing of something you may never have. Be grateful of what your now comprises of. Constantly letting the past distract you keeps you tied to it, keeps you from making the most of the present, and constantly thinking of the future, of what could be, what could have been. All of these thoughts do not change what has happened and can't help you decide what happens in the future. What has already been and what will be are not in your control. But it is in your control to live in the moment, to enjoy the present, to live every moment in a way that makes it count. Measuring your success by what you have now is so much more than imagining what could have been or could be. In this video, we'll discuss about being adventurous. Being adventurous is to experience something different from the usual, something exciting and maybe even risky. For every individual, the word adventure means different things. For some, it may just be staying up late and out past the curfew. For others, it could be skydiving. Everyone finds different things to be exciting and adventurous. Whatever it means to you as an individual, everyone should feel it often enough to make memories and to make life worth the while. Without adventure, the daily grind of life slowly strips away excitement and experiences that are important for the growth of a person. Adventures contribute in keeping relationships from getting boring. They contribute in letting you keep our personality from becoming dull. Step out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone can be a very small, confined space. In this small space, all things are familiar to you. There are no new experiences here, no new lessons to learn, and no challenges. Stepping out of your comfort zone means trying new things that you're not comfortable or familiar with. Try doing things that you haven't done before or never thought you'd ever do. Push yourself to get new experiences, to get some excitement in life. Confining yourself to the comfort zone will never allow you to grow as a person. Instead, it'll make you that person in a gathering who has no stories to tell. It'll make you that person no one invites to hang out anymore because you're not open to trying new things. And not to mention that it'll definitely stand in the way of achieving any success. It does not mean that you need to transform everything about you overnight. Rather, it is something you need to do for yourself once in a while. You can never enjoy doing the same things over and over. A little adrenaline rush never did any harm. Without stepping out of your comfort zone and being adventurous, you'll one day look back at life and see nothing but a plateau. Adventures and things we do for excitement are the highs in life. The best and most joyful moments can never be experienced in that small confined space we call comfort zone. The fear of unknown and unfamiliar can make it hard to do so, but once you learn to take little steps out of the comfort zone, you realize how the benefits far exceed the fears. And only after this will you be able to take big leaps out of the comfort zone and be adventurous. It'll help you learn more about yourself, about your strengths and weaknesses. Be open-minded and learn from experiences. To enrich life with adventures, it's important to be open-minded and to learn from experiences. To be open-minded is to accept that there are things you don't know about, and also things that you could be wrong about. It means to be open to the idea of changing your thoughts, opinions, and perceptions from new experiences and being open to new challenges and ideas. For example, a narrow-minded person will always respond with a no when asked to join in anything exciting. A pessimist would not only refuse, but also go on to explain all the things that could possibly go wrong. An open-minded person, on the other hand, would be open to not only hearing about new ideas, but also trying out something new and adventurous. It's the same as one ordering the same thing from the menu every time compared to the one trying out new items and cuisines. The latter will have far better experiences, some good and some bad. Every time you experience something new, there's something to be learned from that experience. Just as a traveler learns about the hospitality of people in a particular place, the different foods to try out there, or the problems to be wary of. On the contrary, someone who is too afraid to invest so much time, energy, and money on traveling and getting out of the comforts of home will learn nothing new from living each day exactly the same as the previous. Prioritizing adventure over convenience and safety. However, this does not mean you risk your safety and security for adventure. It doesn't mean putting your life or the life of others at stake. What it means instead is that you need to let yourself out of the shell that makes you feel safe and at ease. To prioritize adventure over convenience would mean that you're willing to go that extra mile to bring some excitement to your life. It's similar to what happens to a child with overly protective parents, one who isn't allowed to be friends with someone the parents have not approved of, not allowed to swing faster, not allowed to eat sweets, kept on tightly controlled schedules, and so on. Compare him to a child whose parents are willing to let their child try new things, make new friends, and learn from his own experiences. The personalities of these two will be totally opposite. The former will always play by the rules, never learn to be independent, and never have the self-confidence to step out for an adventure. But the latter would know well that life is all about taking chances and learning from the outcomes, enjoying life through the adventure of it all. When you compare the two, growth and success are almost always contrasted with comfort and safety, whereas growth leads to learning, creating, doing, resisting, and failing. Comfort leads to stability, pleasure, protection, and feeling good. But growth can't happen if you choose comfort over learning. And success demands growing, overcoming obstacles, maybe even failing, but then getting up and trying again. So you can't continue to keep clinging to the easy and avoiding what's challenging if you want to be successful at anything.